welcome to Simply Football. You're watching FC Goa TV on Prudent and I am Neeraj Prabhu. A red-hot performance by the Gors on Friday night ensured that FC Goa will go into the festive season placed third in the ISL 5 table. Sergio Lobera's boys had to come out firing on all cylinders and had to get this crucial result at home because they had gone into a slump in the previous 3 games, scoring just 1 goal and getting only 1 point in return. When they came back to the fortress, you could see the FC Goa were back in their element. It was a DNA FC Goa performance as the Gors beat the Highlanders, the Northeast United FC by 5 goals to 1. A terrific performance by the team in general, and especially Ferran Corominas came up with a brace of goals to break his 3-game goalless streak as well, and took his overall ISL goals tally to 28, equaling the all-time record held by Ian Hume, who has played for a number of teams in the ISL and has been playing since the start of the ISL. So overall, a great night for FC Goa, and all the fans who were at the Nehru Stadium enjoyed the game to Toto. And one of the fans is here with us in the studio. He is none other than the former India striker Francis D'Souza, who has always been with us for this analysis program. Francis, a stunning victory there for FC Goa, very much a very important victory as well to end the first leg.
Yes, important and well-deserved victory. FC Goa was the better team in the first half. They played very controlled football. But what was amazing was the way they started the game. You know, they had an attack at the goal right in the first minute of the match, and that set their intentions right. Like I was saying, there was it was a psychological battle. Jawu not being on the field and Northeast not having their regulars down to 17 fit people on the bench, and not having a foreign stopper back. So they were a more mentally weaker team than FC Goa. But they held on to almost 60 minutes, fighting against the back of the wall with a team like FC Goa. I mean, you know, you have such an attacking team, and Koro, who is clinical finisher. They did well for 60 minutes, and I think the game was very well controlled by FC Goa. They made their intentions very clear. It looked like they didn't miss Jahu at all. Absolutely. The way they played football. You know, so it was a good account of themselves that they gave inside. And like you say, important and well-deserved victory.
Right. FC Goaच्या starting 11 coach Sergio Loberan 2 बदल केल्ले, आणि तातून महत्वाचे म्हळ्यार कार्लोस पेना, जो आमकां कालच्या पयलीं सदांच लेफ्ट बॅक पोझिशनान खेळटाना दिशिल्लो, ताका सेंट्रल डिफेन्सान हाडलो. आनी दुसरो बदल आशिल्लो विंगर जॅकी चॅन सिंग, जो लेफ्ट विंगर खेळ्ळो. And these 2 changes sort of set up FC Goa for some sort of a innovative display?
No, in fact, what happens is that it's just mixing a little bit of players to give a new look at the team and to motivate the team. I think Penna's inclusion was very well done. He should have done it a little earlier. Maybe FC would have not lost the earlier match. But nevertheless, he has used him in this match, and it has come good. But you can't stop a free-flowing FC Goa team. If it is their day, you know, it's very difficult to hold them, and that's exactly what happened.
So this change that Lobera made with left back Carlos Pena being played in central defense, a veteran that Pena is, considering his experience in Spain as well. Quite a good performance by Pena, barring 1 or 2 little dicey moments.
Yeah, if you have observed the past matches, Jahu was playing almost a cover, front cover for the stopper backs. He being there, he was a shield for the defenders, the 2 stopper backs. Since his absence, Lobera rightly replaced Pena there to be the next stopper back, left stopper back, and he had a confident looking player there. compared to Sana and Ali.
Ali.
So, and he has come good on that particular day. He has performed very well, and I think Bedia coming to assist him, Bomos coming down to assist him, even Lenny coming down to assist him, knowing very well the absence of Jahu. I mean, everybody worked in tandem and they worked together to get this result.
Right. ओवरऑल टीमीचे कॉम्बिनेशन खूब बरें दिसलें. मिडफिल्डांतलो जो चाम आशिल्लो तो परत एकदा सगळ्यांक पळोवंक मेळिल्लें. गेल्ल्या गेमीन अवे गेमीन पुण्याक मिडफिल्ड सामकी लेथार्जीक दिशिल्ली. ओवरऑल परफॉर्मन्स रस्टी दिशिल्लो. पूण शुक्रारा राती फातोर्डा FC गोवाचो जो फर्स्ट क्लास जो खेळ आसा जाका आमी शॅम्पेन फुटबॉलूय म्हणटा तो सगळ्यांक पळोवंक मेळ्ळो. ओवरऑल द क्वॉलिटी ऑफ द एंटरटेनिंग display of FC Goa was there right up there, isn't it?
Yeah, I think they have shown us why they are such a dreaded side by their performance yesterday. Last three matches they weren't at their best, and they have paid the price for not being at their best. And I think they knew that Northeast also was a very good team, so they had to up their football to a certain level, and that was at the back of their mind. And I think they went about doing the job. Each one did his job. Brendan was just superb yesterday with his passes and great assisting with the goal and all that stuff. He had his try also at the goal. But that's what FC Goa is made of. Ball possession. They had the maximum amount of ball possession in the game. But Northeast was fighting with the back to the wall because they knew how strong FC Goa was, and they knew their position. So, how long they could survive the onslaught of FC Goa and Koro was a matter of time till the lead was taken in the 59th minute.
Right. Although Koro, who scored 2 goals, was named the hero of the match, there were so many outstanding performances. And one of the very best came from local boy Seriton Fernandes, who was named the emerging player of the match. Who, according to you, was the best player on the park for FC Goa?
I think Seriton really did very well. But for me, I think Edu Bedia was the man behind the victory. I mean, he controlled it, so he worked very hard. He controlled it very well and completely dominated the midfield. You know, Bomos, Brendan completely had control over the midfield. And that's where FC Goa always had the edge. Sure. It got the space, it got the time to create those passes and create the danger in Northeast defense.
And one more time, we see a fantastic piece of skill by Edu Bedia as he put a great finish on that move to score his 5th goal of the season.
Yeah, Edu Bedia's quality and class is never in doubt. These are Spanish players who are really fantastic ball players. They know exactly what they want to do. And if you know the delightful chip that he did over the goalkeeper, he just glanced back if there was a defender putting him under pressure. When he found that there was nobody there, he took his time and he knew exactly what he was doing, like Koru does sometimes. And it was brilliant. I mean, there was hardly any, it was only making the right decision at the right time. And that's what Edu Bedia does most of the time.
Absolutely. How much we will all love it if such skills and such composure is shown by our own Indian players. They need to learn, Francis. They need to learn from these classy foreigners.
Yeah, I mean, you don't need power to convert the ball into goals. You need a bit of thinking and a bit of skill. I mean, you have to have your instinct supporting you at that point of time. What exactly to do? And knowing very well that the goalkeeper is going to be a 1 versus 1 situation. I mean, Edu Bedia was cool as a cucumber and he did it with delight, and I think the fans went crazy when he saw that goal being scored. Right. This is what the fans want to see, come and see.
Absolutely. Let's now listen into the thoughts of both the coaches.
Totally outplayed by FC Goa.
100%. Very deserved win. You cannot, if you lose 5-1, you cannot say that we were better. It's a very simple analysis. Yesterday in the press conference, I opted, or I said, they have at this moment 17 players. From those 17, 2 have a half injury. They needed to play. You don't have much options to choose. I lost my centre back, foreign centre back. I don't have another foreigner on the bench. and it's a matter of quality. I expected that Goa would press us, and if we would have given a little bit of time, as in not being pressed, and I'm sure we could have had to play a little bit better football.
Comes that part, I really played my players. That we lost every freaking ball they could play to their own player, they give to Goa, and then you can never play football. That's one part. The second part is after 25 minutes or so, I think I changed back to a 4-3-3, but it's not the ideal formation with the players that I have. In this case, for one, until they scored the first goal, suddenly it broke down. From there, mentally, it was a bad performance. You cannot lose 5-1 if you have the second best defense in the league and just give in one game 5 goals away. That's impossible. That's a mental thing. That's attitude, and that's what I'm really disappointed.
You guys only have 4 goal scorers as of now. Every other team has 5 or more. Do you think that will be a factor over the coming?
You don't have to be a football professor. You don't have to be a good coach to and this is something you need to be. Just be honest to yourself. I made a remark before that you can make from a Mini Cooper a Ferrari, and it's very simple. If you have limited resources, if I see what Goa has on the bench, I don't have that on the bench. Not saying that we don't have good players, but if you have players who never played in ISL and have to come inside and play like a man, that will take time. So you have overall, compared to all other teams, you have the lowest budget, and you will have less quality on certain positions to change. So that is when you say you have only a few players who can score. Yes, that's a problem. But we still have to play. We did very well in the first 10 games. But in the last period, where we had a very dense program that broke us up, we still survived that. And this game, as I said, I lost my foreign centre back, and that puts a huge pressure on the way I like to play.
Was it an early Christmas gift for the fans?
Pues sí, es un buen regalo para todos, es un buen regalo para la afición, es un buen regalo para nosotros. Estamos muy contentos por haber podido conseguir esto y dedicárselo a la afición.
Well, yeah, I guess so. You know, it's a good gift for the fans, it's a good gift for the team, it's a good gift for everybody working at the club. So this win is dedicated to all of them.
Coach, you played Penna in central defense, and he seemed like he is really good at that place. Very innovative, and that was unseen of Penna before. We saw him only as a left back, so you pulled off something innovative with that.
Bueno, nosotros sabíamos que Peña podía jugar de lateral y podía jugar de central. De hecho, cuando lo firmamos también por esa polivalencia.
We knew that Peña could play centre back and that he could play left back. You know, when we signed him, we knew what we were getting with the player. That's the reason that we signed him as well.
Hoy, analizando al equipo rival, sabíamos que como tenían al central extranjero lesionado, iban a utilizar a otro extranjero más, y en este caso era otro delantero.
Analyzing the other team, we knew that because they had their foreign centre back injured, they were going to play one of the other foreigners up front. And taking that into account, we played the way we did.
Sabíamos que por el medio iba a ser un partido complicado porque son dos buenos delanteros junto a Gallego por detrás.
And we knew that it was a game that was going to be tough through the middle, particularly because they have two good forwards in Opeche and Masque, and then Gallego behind them.
Por eso hemos planteado el partido así y nos ha salido bien. Ha hecho un muy buen partido Peña y todo el equipo a nivel defensivo.
And I think, you know, it turned out well for us. I thought Peña played well, and just like the rest of the team did as well.
So within the first 10 minutes, you could have scored 3 goals. Nothing went wrong there?
Estoy de acuerdo.
I agree with you.
Creo que la primera parte nos tendríamos que haber ido al descanso con ventaja en el marcador.
I think in the first half, we should have reached half-time with a big difference in terms of the scoreline.
Pero la segunda parte creo que, en general, en todo el partido creo que hemos sido muy superiores y justos vencedores, y además por este resultado.
And I think in the second half, we were completely superior to them in all aspects, and I think the result was sort of a reflection of that.
Well, Dutchman Shatori was clearly upset with his team, mentally caving in after they had conceded a goal in the 59th minute. And on the eve of the match as well, he was very much demoralized due to the injury problems.
Yeah, I think I told you right in the beginning that it was like a psychological battle for Northeast to get over the formidable FC Goa. And then they did well till the 60th minute. I think they were a little bit unlucky in the fight to survive, because they had a very bad call of a penalty by the officials. If there was VAR, video assistant referee, I think Northeast would have benefited by that goal, and perhaps things might have changed with that decision of the penalty. It was a clear, obvious penalty with Penna handling the ball. The hand was right over the head and there was no dive. I wonder how the referee missed that infringement. Nevertheless, everybody is human, so this is part of his.
At 80K, even FC Goa had a very big shout for a penalty.
Yes, that's same thing. So that's what I say, and the first goal they considered was a doubtful offside decision going away against Northeast. So when you have a psychological disadvantage, you keep on fighting. These are the moments that can demoralize you to a certain extent. And after that, what really happened was that the Northeast defense just surrendered to FC Goa. Just like an identical match we saw Mumbai versus FC Goa, when Mumbai conceded 5 goals against. This was exactly what happened. I mean, they couldn't fight. Their spirit had gone away with those two, controversial decisions. And I would congratulate FC Goa for taking advantage of the sloppiness and slack and dispirited defense.
Absolutely. Coming to Sergio Lobera, when asked whether it was a case of necessity being the mother of invention with regards to Penna playing in defense, he replied as to they knew while signing him that he could also play in central defense. Do you buy that?
In fact, I don't know exactly if that was what he always had in mind. But when somebody succeeds, you got to take it sportingly.
Sure.
And it was his day, so there is no way to grudge Lobera. But he had problems right from the beginning regarding his left stopper back. He had Ali, Sana being taken off, put on and off. So I think for me, to think of Penna being an additional centre back and then fielding him on this day after 9 matches is a little questionable, because I thought he could have brought him into that position much earlier to save the embarrassment for FC Goa in the last 3 matches. But if he has done it this time, hats off to him, and he has achieved the results.
Also, probably what stopped Lobera maybe that they always had to use Jahu as well when he was available, so that extra foreigners place wasn't available.
Yeah,
for
of
them.
course, that is a very, very vital point, because you always have the numbers of foreigners playing in the thing. And then since his philosophy has always been attacking football, so he has persisted with that attack, because he knew that he had very good people up front to score goals. And that has been philosophy from last ISL to this ISL. So maybe he didn't want to, touch that philosophy of his by bringing in Penna as an additional foreigner. So that may be a little valid reason why he never introduced Penna in the central position.
Right. Full marks to Coach Lobera though for getting that type of a reaction from his boys and getting that belief of attacking football going continuously and getting the best out of their boys when they needed it the most at the end of the first leg of the ISL. Coming to Penna and coming to general knowledge about what adjustments a left back may have to do while being played out of position into a central defensive position for our young viewers as they watch this program. What has Penna necessarily done to fit into a central role?
No, I think it is not very, very difficult for an experienced and tried footballer at this level, at Spanish level that he has played, because I think you always interchange positions in a match, during a match, and make cover up for the players who are out of position. And you already know what exactly is the duties of the central position, player, central stopper. So it doesn't make much of a difference for a player to come and fit into another position there. I mean, basically you are a player who has little intelligence, little knowledge, basics of the games are very good, and you have to fit yourself into that position. You are asked to do a role, play a role. And I think for a foreigner and a player who has played for a long time, I don't think it is difficult. It's difficult to get into that slot. But for a youngster, I think it might have been a little difficult.
Right. And what does a youngster need to learn here? What are the technical requirements to be a versatile defender?
In fact, it is all about doing your homework, it's all about doing things in practice, and you have to be a thinking footballer always. You have to observe, you have to see, and then you have to try to implement what the other players are doing on the field. Because I think now it is something like total football. You may be required to play in different positions,
right?
Not like something we played way back in the 70s. So you always have to have a broader outlook to the aspects of the game, and you got to mold yourself to those aspects, so that whenever your coach calls you to play those roles, you can just fit into those roles. Like yesterday, I have seen Rahul Beke switched off from right back position, wing back position to left wing position when they played yesterday. So these are the changes that the coach will visualize, and according to the class and the quality of the players they have. And they may be asked to fit into different roles. So generally a player will like to adapt himself to 2 or 3 roles, so that he can be in demand to get a position in the team.
Right. So then we are now heading into a long break with India's AFC Cup engagement coming up. AFC Asian Cup, a continental event and a very prestigious event that will start in January, and before that the Indian players will go into a camp under Stephen Constantine. So if we cast our sight on the upcoming AFC Asian Cup, what can we expect as India are grouped along with Thailand, hosts UAE and Bahrain? What can we expect from Team India?
I think the Indian team under Stephen has done remarkably well. They have got a lot of exposure, played competitions abroad. They played against foreign teams, and so that has strengthened them more. And the confidence that these players, Indian players, have got after playing in part with foreigners along with in the ISL and the various competitions they have gone abroad to play. I think that has strengthen their mental ability, their belief that they can deliver, and I think you will have the Indian team performing very well. Unlike those days when we used to just succumb to the Middle East teams without much of a fight, I think we are capable of giving a fight, and even on a given day we are able to get victories. We have seen so often being done by Sunil Chhetri and his men.
Right, and Goa will be very interested if Rolin Borges makes the cut into the final squad. He is the only Goan to be included in the 34-man probable squad by Constantine. However, Rolin's performance yesterday did not cover him with glory. I mean, was it any sort of a notable performance for you?
Yeah, I mean, when he didn't have a good day yesterday, maybe the thought of being in the Indian team and being one of the probables, it always plays on your mind when you play the last crucial match for fear of injury or whatever it may be. But I think a player would like to perform at every match he is being tried. But yesterday he didn't have a good game, and because you are playing against a team which will be able to control the ball in the midfield, and you didn't get too much of a ball, and you are already a depleted side. So it might have affected his performance yesterday. But you cannot take away the quality that and the form that Rolin Borges has shown in this entire ISL.
Sure.
I mean, he's been very good, and his work rate is exceptional, and he's got himself even on the score list. So nothing to take away from his yesterday's performance. The qualities he already has displayed in the ISL.
Absolutely, and Coach Chatori had praised him during the pre-match press conference as well.
Yeah, I mean, he had the quality, he showed, he delivered, and he has faith in his men. But I think it's a Goan pride to have him there as a lone representative of Goa. It's unfortunate that we should have had more people into the Indian squad, especially Brandon and company who are playing good football.
Right.
I mean, I'm talking about coming on performance, good at performance, just not names.
Yes.
But you see, Brandon had a very good game yesterday with his defense playing passes and his control and his mobility. So I
Even
think
Seritan should be knocking on the door.
yeah,
now.
they should be strong contenders for the Indian team after this. And he is young, so he can always. Both of them are very young. Yes. They can always keep on trying and never give up their desire to play for the country.
Right then, we stop here now and we pause a bit even in the ISL 5 with FC Goa's campaign and hope that India do something incredible in the upcoming AFC Asian Cup. Thank you, Francis, for being here with us. We will continue our programming on the other side of the international break. And in the meantime, we must keep a keen eye on India at the AFC Asian Cup.
Yes, definitely, Neeraj. But let me also say a Merry Christmas to all the lovely FC Goa fans. Keep on cheering FC Goa. Have a nice New Year, and we'll see you back again in the New Year.
Absolutely. Compliments of the season. Have a wonderful time and keep watching Prudent. Goodbye for now.